In Excel, you can use scenarios to show different information on the same worksheet without using any programming. And we'll see how to set up this sample budget. So we have marketing and finance departments have both given us their information, and we can switch between the two and then compare them. If I select finance and click show, it shows me their numbers, and I can go back to marketing just by clicking this button. So we'll see how to set that up. Here's a new workbook. I've put in my marketing information. I've entered the sales amount and expenses, and then I'm going to calculate the profit. So to calculate profit, I click in this cell, equals, then the sales minus expenses, and press enter. I'll format this, select those cells, and click the accounting format. And I could also add a top and double bottom border and get rid of some of the decimals. So we have the basics set up here now. The next thing to do is name the cells where sales, expenses, and profit show up. When we name sales and expenses, we'll be able to use those names in this formula instead of the cell references. We're also going to be creating scenarios, and named cells will give us better results than cell references when we're looking at our scenario report. To name this cell, I want to call it sales. I want to call this one expenses, and I want to call this one profit. Select all of those cells, go to the Formulas tab, click Create from Selection, and it's going to use the names that are in the cells at the left. When I click OK, this cell has been named Sales, this one is Expenses, and this one is Profit. So that's a quick and easy way to name a group of cells. This one didn't get a name because there was no text in the left column. To use those names in this formula, on the Formulas tab, I'm going to click the drop down beside Define Name and click Apply Names. It shows all the names that I have here, and click OK. And now if I look at this formula, it has just substituted the names where it could in this cell's formula. We're going to create our first scenario now based on these marketing numbers. We'll go back to the ribbon, and on the Data tab, click the arrow for What If Analysis and click Scenario Manager. Nothing is created yet for scenarios, so click Add. We'll give this a name, and I'll call this Marketing. We have to tell Excel which cells are going to be changed in our scenario. The cells we're going to change are this cell that shows the department name, and I'm going to hold the Control key while I select the sales and expenses. When I select those two cells, B3 and B4, it put in a comma and then added those cells. We don't have to change the profit cell because that formula will stay the same no matter what is going on above it. Click OK, and now we can see what is currently in B1 and sales and expenses. I forgot to name the department cell, so it's just showing a cell reference, and that is what would show up in our reports when we create them. These two will be labeled nicely, so we're going to go back and change that cell as well. Click OK, and there's our marketing scenario that's been created, and I'll click Close. So I'm just going to change this cell. Now there's nothing to the left of it that I could use as a name. So to name this cell, I'll click in the name box and type a one-word name for this. So I'll just call it DEPT, which is short for department, and press enter. So now we can see its name in the name box. The next thing we'll do is create a scenario for finance. We're going to change the three cells that are included in the scenario. So this is finance. I'll put in its sales amount and its expenses, and its profit changes automatically. Now we're going to create our finance scenario. On the Data tab, click the arrow for What If Analysis and Scenario Manager. Marketing is still there. We're going to click Add and call this one Finance. It's already selected the changing cells. I'll click OK. It's showing our numbers, and now we can see department there as the name for that cell. Click OK and click Close. So now we have our, and then we can go back and see marketing just by selecting it from the Scenario Manager. On the Data tab, What If Analysis, Scenario Manager. We're currently looking at finance, but we can quickly go back to marketing by selecting it. Click Show and Close. It's remembering what we've put in those cells, and we can switch back and forth to look at each one and print it and go back to the other. For more Excel tips and tutorials, please visit my Contextures website at www.contextures.com.